Reminder to subscribe if you haven't already, and check out the guild and the Discord while you're down there. Hello people, and welcome back to News Review. For this week there are actually quite a few cards. The collab has ended by the time this video has come out, so hopefully everyone got what they wanted or needed. First off, we have two new additions to the Era of Novelty seal for this year. Basically a main jackpot and a sub jackpot. The main jackpot will be Carmilla. She is a water demon. As a leader, her team basically runs demons mainly. Demon HP is times 2.2, and then demon attack times 3 when your HP is full. Everything has, well, all attributed runestones have basically, if you add up both sides, it will be all attributed runestones have 100% effect of attributed runestones, and Heart will also have 100% of attributed runestones. And then you have recovery without recover ring without recovery. I always mess that one up, which is that you basically have lifesteal up to half your HP, which will be all of your HP on both sides added up. So this is how you recover. I've said before, this is kind of a bad way to recover because there are a few situations where you are both able to deal damage to the enemy but also stall at the same time. Most of the time you need to stall, it's either you can't actually deal any damage to the enemy, so this kind of lifesteal effect is quite bad, I think. For her team skill, she gets extra movement time for 4 seconds, CD -6 for herself. At the end of each round, recover half your HP as well until your HP is full. If you don't dissolve heart runestones, you get 80% damage reduction, and when your current HP is more than 70%, active skills of demons will not be locked. By dissolving 6 or more demon runestones, if you hit enemies with Carmilla, they will be inactivated for 1 round, and then basically just like a stat on the enemy itself. That gives you a ×4. This will not work on enemies that ignore controlling skills, and demon damage ignores damage using resistance and combo seal. So not much in the way of shield solving. You don't have ignore burning, you don't have ignore sticky. You have some of the more niche stuff, which is damage using resistance and combo seal, which is great and all, but I think team skills, you want to have some of the common stuff, and the rare stuff, the rare shields, usually go in the actives, right? I think this is the wrong way to allocate, or this way of allocating what shield solving abilities a team has makes this makes Carmilla not that great of a leader. The other thing is she actually does not generate demon runestones off her team skill or the leader skill, only off the active skill. So this immobilized state won't happen very often. And then pay attention to this point where it says active skills of demons will not be locked, because this is about to basically contradict itself with Carmilla's active. Carmilla's active is CD6. Fully recover your HP. Yes, we get it. We have 10 billion ways to recover your HP, all of which are not that good. Turn the first and second columns into enchanted water demon and enchanted heart demon runestone, so fixed numbers and fixed positions. Not quite sure what you can even do with fixed numbers and fixed positions if it's only the first and second columns. By the way, this is just fixing it for the first and second sucks, especially because it's first off, if you're Carmilla as your leader and ally, which I highly do not recommend because she works off being a leader, and that's the other problem where who the hell works off only being a leader apart from Carmilla? So you can't pick a random ally. I mean, you could pick a random ally, but it's just kind of bad to do so for team building. The Origin of Demons probably still surpasses Carmilla in what their team can do. Tap 1 column to lock the corresponding member's active skill for 3 rounds. Yeah, this is the contradictory part. It's will this actually work? Will this skill go through if your HP is above 70%? And if it won't go through, what part of it won't go through? I'm sure some people have tested it by now. It's but you lock the members active, and then it says that member's attack basic value will be lowered to 0, and then add 2 times the deducted attack basic value to the attack basic value of other members. If your HP is above 70%, and you don't actually lock that character because you can't, does the points of like 4 and 5 of giving you an attack boost actually go through? And if it doesn't, then you're screwed. If it does, then, you know, fine. And I guess that's like maybe the like reasoning behind it is to, like, you know, these actually don't go through. But I mean, like, people, one thing I have, because people have gotten early access to this card through like TOS Fest or something in Taiwan. People have been saying this card has a lot of bugs. I'm not really sure what this card like actually does, but I definitely do not think it's top tier, that's for sure. I put it like in between 50 and 175 diamonds. I definitely don't think this is worth 175. Although this is 100, I believe. This will go in the era of Novelty seal. I mean, like 100 is like fine. It's definitely a workable leader, but I wouldn't recommend it because you can get like Origin of Demons. So like the verdict I will give is don't pull for this card if you have literally any other option, because the actives like kind of sucks. Yeah, the active just kind of sucks as well. Next up is the sub-jackpot Earth Machina Nobel. He runs a full Machina team. It's exclusive to only Machinas. Standard like stat boosting, standard like attack conditions. Damage received minus 50%. I believe this stacks on both sides in the sense that you get minus 75% instead of 100%. If it's 100, it makes it a little better. Although you're still obviously weak to stuff like enemy skills that ignore your damage reduction. For his team skill, he also works off him being a leader, and that's fine. You get 3 seconds of movement time. Everything has the effect of Machina's attributes in the team, incentivizing a rainbow kind of build. The more types of runes dissolve, the higher the team attack. Each time when runes are exploded by the team, deal non-distributive damage of 5,000 times the leader's attack to all enemies, regardless of defense and enchanted runestone shield. And by dissolving all present runestones of one or more types in the first batch. Basically, if you fully dissolve a type of runestone, explode it at the end of the round, and then which will trigger that first part, which is when you explode runestones, you deal direct damage to the enemy. This doesn't actually do any like thing to your board except like destroy it, because it just generates enchanted runestones. You don't know what the hell you're getting. And damage with that regardless of anti-runestone shield, which is, you know, slightly synergistic because you want to fully dissolve one type of runestone, and you also want to dissolve a lot of types of runestones. Still, this is basically adding shields upon yourself for not that much benefit, because this direct damage only ignores defense and enchanted runestone shield, which are two of the most basic forms of enemy skills. He gives himself attack basic value, an additional attack basic value of 1,500 because of the aforementioned team skill. This is when he is the leader with only Machina's team. If this triggered while he was a member with only Machina's team, it would be marginally more useful as well, but that didn't even happen. For his active at CD6, he explodes the first to 6 columns in ascending order, basically meaning that he explodes it 6 times to generate 5 of each type of enchanted Machina runestone. Basically a full board explosion and a fixed board afterwards. He just does it 6 times because it's synergistic with his team skill. For 2 rounds, you have ignoring of laser trap and ignoring of black holes, and Machina attack base value plus 1,000. I mean, it's a pretty bad skill. I know I said fixed boards are usually good, but like, you never run into laser trap, you never run into black holes. This attack base level plus 1,000 kind of sucks in terms of an attack boost. And if you really want a fixed board, you have Monesis in its Earth Machina form, which I know, fine, you make the argument that most people don't have it, but a free-to-play card is literally better than Nobel, and Monesis did come back relatively recently, so, like, you know, the people who need it will probably have it instead of this card, so also not really worth it. Once again, worst comes to worst, you know, 50 diamonds, sure, he's usable. If you, like, don't have Monesis and you really, like, need an Earth Machina fixed board quintet enchanted for some reason, not even quintet, it's like all types enchanted, fine. You know, it's fine for that. Fixed boards like are never bad, but I don't think this guy's worth it. You know, if you have other options. So kind of a terrible addition to the era of Novelty Seal. Rarely like do I actually think they add something good over there, to be honest. But yeah. All right, next up are the free cards. There's an item collecting event with 3 new cards in this event specifically. First off, we have basically it explaining that you collect items, you exchange them for peach blossom cakes, and then you exchange those for whatever actual stuff afterwards. So first off, we got Kyoko, a dark god, CD6, Kyoko, Shinatsuhiko, and Haruka. Release the locked skills, clear the hypnotized state. The other 2 cards, which I think like this is supposed to be like the father, the mother, and the child. So the father and the mother skill CD is -5. Modify all runestones to become god runestones by dissolving 5 or more god runestones. God damage ignores puzzle and initial shield. And if either of the parents are in a hyper state upon skill activation, combo count +10. This is quite a good card, I would say. It's a lot of effects in one, and you can also like pull off some shenanigans in a Yancy team because of the light and dark. So Haruka is a light god, and Kyoko obviously here is a dark god. And then, you know, this is just a lot of stuff that would be good. God cards ignore puzzle shield is this list right here. Kyoko is the second ever dark god card to ignore puzzle shield, first being Odin. Of course, Odin's a little finicky, but there are, you know, other like god options if you like, you know, if you're looking for them. Dark cards that ignore puzzle shield, there are a lot of them. However, dark god cards that ignore initial shield have almost become a freaking meme now, just because of the sheer number of them. You get the original Cancer, you got Yancy, you got Odin again, you got the guy from you got Hypnos from the collab, and you got Zeus, who I've never used, and I nearly forgot who he was. So yeah, pretty good card, I think. Worth 3 to farm, I think. I mean, all these are worth 3 to farm because of this team skill right here, where all 3 of them get HP attack recovery basic value times 1.3 and skill CD to -3. Not that big of a boost, but you know, still, I think it's worth just in case the one day that you want a god attack boosting thing. But then you would probably just put chaos in your team and stuff it full of like 8-star gods anyway. But in the case that you need it, you know, at least Kyoko I think is good. But once again, like without Shinatsuhiko and Haruka, you lose a bit of the power level. So these are free cards. I encourage you to, you know, at least farm one as always. There are new Dragonwares, God exclusive Dragonwares. Active skill CD -2, this is quite good. This was previously exclusive to, I believe, one of the corrupted nuclei. Was it, I want to say, Gemsa? I think. I don't remember what they are off by heart. I just remember like of their existence. I don't remember what like Sealed Lord corresponds to what. But if I were to work off memory, I would say it's Gemsa. That is her nucleus that gives you skill CD -2, so this is quite good because it basically has the same effect, and you don't have to waste your Cores of Doom on a skill CD reducing Jaguar. Moving on, Shinatsuhiko, Earth God, CD6. Haruka enters or stays in hyperstate for 3 rounds. Remove Tornado after successful removal. Skill CD -4 of the character. Explode weathered runestones to generate enchanted god runestones. And for 1 god, attack and recovery times 1.8. Pretty standard. Removing Tornado is getting less and less unique with all these cards that remove Tornado. He is the first Earth card to do so though, so that's quite good. And then moving on to Haruka, the Light God, also CD6, basically the same thing that Shinatsuhiko does, but for Laser Trap, removing Laser Trap. She is the first card ever to remove Laser Trap. Not that, once again, not that you encounter Laser Trap anyway, normally. And she also explodes Electrified instead of Weathered Runestones, and the same effect for the rest of the stuff. Alrighty. moving back to this, we got two other cards here. First off, a new ultimate card, which is Sarah's Prophesier. Wait, Sarah's Prophesier, okay. Water Elf, CD7. You ignore death damage, modify the ward to become Elf Rune Stones for 1 round, dodge the first attack of each enemy, and ignore Explosive Bomb. This card is basically a worse version of Xaviera, who is also a Water Elf, so if you have that card, you pretty much don't need this card. Ignoring Explosive Bombs is fine, but like they rarely come up, and you know, not most people, but like, you know, Monster Strike cards are a better alternative to that. But if you neither have Xaviera or Monster Strike cards, you know, this card will probably be useful to you. But once again, of course, this is an ultimate card, grab one just in case. Probably will sit in your inventory for all eternity, but in case it doesn't, you have it. And last and kind of least is the Battle Pass card, Volatile Spin Genie, Dark Elf, CD7 for 3 rounds. You ignore defense, everything has everything. And upon skill activation at the end of each round, turn the board into Enchanted Heart and Enchanted Runestones of the members' attributes. The reason why this card sucks is because it's pure conversion, it's not explosion, it's not removal. You know, converting at the end of the round does have, like, you do sidestep some of the stuff that is like anti-runestone conversion because you're converting at the end of the round, but just pure conversion, like, even this is kind of control conversion, but the control you have is basically what like attributes you bring into the team, and it's like you gotta restrict your team building to work around this active skill, which I don't think is very fun. And it's not, they really, like, the design of this card makes it so that it's kind of underpowered, in my opinion. So not a very good Battle Pass card. You know, kind of unfortunate. Her exclusive Battle Pass Dragonware is fine. It's still CD-2 after entering the stage for Dark Elves, although all the Dark Elves, well, there was already a Dark Elf, like, exclusive Dragonware. Dark Elves that I usually, I'm just thinking, like, it's Saruman, which, you know, he has, like, the nuclei and whatnot. It's Dodgy, she has her own Dragonware. Elves don't need this. Like, if you're looking at the craft skills for, like, you know, new players, sure. You ignore Puzzle Shield and ignoring Quintet Attack Shield, quite good. But for the Dragonware skills, it's like, this is kind of like run-of-the-mill stuff that other cards can do. And lastly, it's the March Challenge. A new reward is Remodeling Hammer for level 8. The Remodeling Hammers can be used to change the modes of specific forgeable Dragonwares. So that's something to look out for if you're into forging your own Dragonwares. And yeah, so that is that for this page. For the celebration page, I don't think there is much to say except for the stuff I've already said. There's new gift packs. Yeah, for level 8, apart from the silver components, you also get Remodeling Hammers now, which is a new item. You got, what have you got? We've got a new Diamond Seal, which is Arrow Novelty Connected. This is the one, I think, for this year going forward. All the old small prize will be also added back into this seal. And then they'll just rotate it like they did last. Wait, no. I'm sorry. There was I think there was a last time. Yeah, it was Jiang Xiang and Keanu, but they're gonna remove that. For some reason I thought these were the first like jackpots of this year, which is clearly just not true. There will be new side story series for the new characters, and some level up results for random. No, this is not random. These are the new cards and the cards that are in the seal, I think. And there'll also be a returning bi-weekly series. I didn't bother putting these on here. These are like okay cards that I've like either seen 0 or 1 time. So grab one of them if you can. As always, like bi-weekly stages are worth to do at least once for all the achievements and to grab 1 card. But there's like, I don't see any returning of ultimate stages or anything. There's really nothing special here. I thought this was something special I didn't see. No, it's just a bonus stage. You can get silver summon coupons, I guess, which is quite fun. I actually got a Caesar, a dupe Caesar. Can you imagine getting a dupe Caesar? No one's gonna believe me because like I didn't get any footage of it, but I pulled a dupe Caesar off a silver summon coupon, like for sure. So, you know, maybe these silver summon coupons aren't that useless after all. If you like this, please leave a like. After hearing that last comment, probably you want to give me a dislike because, you know, of my luck. I understand. If you have any questions, leave down in the comments down below. Join the Discord, you can also leave it there. And if you like this in general, please subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. See ya!